Okay, now that we've seen the feed cost tracking, let's move on to the next module. That is the egg stock. All right, let's dive in. So egg stock, this is where we control all, we record, keep track of all the eggs that are produced at the farm. Uh, Again, I have to say this is demonstrating a farm application system for poultry, but this system can be used for anything like uh, cattle, milk, goats, whatever your farm is. We can customize to exactly what your farm is about. All right, let's move forward with the egg production. The first step is we have to figure out how to record the eggs, and that's where you go to add new egg stock. Under add new egg stock form, you're going to see the date. Again, you're going to select the date, and then you're going to select your flock category, sorry, flock batch. The batch, remember the naming here, so that we track down every single batch. So you do this naming at the very first day when you receive your batch. So you're going to select which batch is laying these eggs. Okay, we say maybe C, and then you're going to put in the eggs collected. Maybe say 1,000 eggs were collected today. Okay, is there any eggs that were taken out of stock? This is where you would be recording them. Maybe there is a delivery truck that picked up eggs from your farm to take it to the market. So you say maybe 500 eggs were picked up at the farm. Are there any damages collected? We track damages separately because we want to know how many damages we have, and usually they don't sell at the same price. So it's a better idea to track them separately and try to mitigate the damages that way. I would say maybe 5 damages. And are there any damages that have been taken out of the store, farm store? Maybe one or two or four, who knows? So you would be submitting that information based on whatever data you have. It's very important that this is clear information and is free of errors. Otherwise, if there's errors, the reports will also have the same errors. So whoever enters this data has to be somebody who is patient and can analyze and make sure that they have accurate information before they submit it to the system. I recommend having a supervisor do this job, or just have somebody assigned to do data entry for your farm. All right. So from that, I've shown you how to record the eggs that are collected and those that are taken out of the farm, maybe to the market. Now that we know that that information is in, let's see what else we can do with the egg stock module. Okay, under this drop down, you will be able to see that we have the different flock categories or flock batches. If I take an example of A, I'm going to see just for A. As you may see, it has updated the batch SKU number to just A. If I don't select it here, I'm going to see a mix of A, C, D. So usually I want to pay attention to one. I'm going to see how A performed on the 31st. You see that they collected 2,893 eggs. And you can see that there's a stock out right there. On the same day. And then the damages, you can see that the damages that were taken out of the stock. So all this information is submitted by probably your farm manager. You probably need to have a book. This information will come from the books to into the system, or you can have the farm manager directly enter this information into your system. With our farm, we do have a book, so we have two records. If there's any errors, we can double check on what the book says. That being said, let's see what the report does here. You click on the report. We have two menus that are presented. One is the all batches egg stock. So this is where we see all the production of the farm. Doesn't matter which particular batch is producing the eggs. So let's dive in there. As you may see, with our sample data, you see that there is 9 million eggs collected, and stock out, trays in, trays out. So this is the individual eggs, the pieces, and then the system will tell us in trays. And in Uganda, a tray is 30 eggs. So trays out, damages in, damages out, quantity of trays in stock. So this is what is in stock right now at the farm. And then we have The loose eggs, these are eggs that don't make up a tray or whatever your number might be. If you're packing them by the dozen and you only have 5, this is going to be the loose. That's what we mean there. Then the damages, as you may see, is 146 pieces. Um, that being said, you can filter and see only data for January. So January 1st to the 31st, that's all I want to see. As you may see, this is going to show you the eggs collected in that month, and then what is taken out, damages and all that, the current trays in stock. The only reason you're having a negative is probably because there is some eggs in February that were picked in January. So that's why you see that negative right there. As you may see that that the eggs collected were 149, but the eggs taken out were 163,000. So that already brings in that negative. How did they take these many eggs yet they only collected this? Is because maybe in December they did not pick certain eggs. So if I push this date back, maybe to the 25th of December, you'll see that that reduces the negative. If I push it to the 18th, you'll see that that even goes higher because there is more eggs taken probably between that time. Let's do the 24th. As you may see, that corrects that. So this is always accurate depending on what is going on at your farm. If you had eggs from last week, maybe 100 trays, and this new week you have another 100 trays and your truck picks up the 200 trays, if you select only data for this week, it is going to show that this week you picked up 200 trays, but within the same week you only produced 100. So the logic is that whatever you select here should make sense to you, depending on what you want to see. Usually, sometimes I just want to see the eggs that were collected within this month. I want to see eggs that were taken out of stock within this month. Without this might not matter much to me what's in stock currently, just based on this, because I know it might be wrong because of the other factors that I've explained already here. I hope I did explain this egg stock module, but let's continue to the other report. So we had all batches reports. This really does help you as a manager or farm owner to know how many eggs you have in your stock. I usually like to visit it to see what do they have that is still there. Why don't they sell it? So this is where you identify all that data, and you might call your manager and ask him, hey, I see you have 200 trays of eggs. Why don't you have it picked up? So that helps with that type of decision. And then the other portion of the egg reports is the performance chart. This is a very beautiful chart, and I would love you guys to pay more attention to this one. Let's dive in. I'm just going to use examples to best explain this. If we click on performance chart for A, as you may see here, 2022A, voila, look at that. It is going to show you the production of these hens. You see that when they started, the percentage went to 35 almost. It went to 88, 91, 92. This is every month, 90, 90, 88, 86, 86, 84, 85, 82, 81, 77, 72, 70, 66, 63, and right now they are producing at 59. Oh man, that's a long time. As you may have seen in my previous module, this particular flock has been around for almost 2 years, and we have to say that this is one of the best flocks that we've ever seen as in performance. So if this was different, if maybe they were at 90 and then this came down right here, that means you're facing some issues. Maybe your flock is sick, maybe the feedings is not correct, maybe there is something you need to figure out. Maybe your workers are not trustworthy, maybe they are not reporting the right amount of eggs. So being away from your farm, especially if you're like in diaspora, like the USA, Canada, UK, and you want to have a farm that is running in another country, this would be what you need. And this is the reason that we have developed this system. This system can be used within any country. that you live, you can access the system. Your team can access the system and record all this information for you, and all you have to do is analyze the system based on the visuals the visual reports like this particular one. There is really no way that you cannot run your farm if you follow this system very well. It is going to put you in the know. You are going to be able to figure out things that even probably your manager will not see. You will be able to see them before he even does see them. You might be able to identify whether there is some problem, whether your birds are sick, whether there's anything to do with that based on production. Because if production goes down, definitely something is wrong. It shouldn't go down unless it goes down gradually, like you can see. This is okay. This is perfectly okay. Okay, that being said, as you may see here, we know that this flock is at 744 days old. They are producing today. This is the percentage for today, only today. If you see, we are in the month of February already, February 1st, but the system is, sorry, this is the last day of December, so not December, January, and as you may see, this is 31st January. The last production was at 57%, but if you look here, it says 59. So because it takes the average of the entire month. So, but if you want to see just the percentage for the day, this is where you see it. So today they laid at 57.91%. Yesterday they laid at 56.63%. And as you may see, this is if you have like one or two maybe off, maybe it's 57 or 59, it's okay. But if this number went from 56 to 45% the next day, then I'm gonna have to tell you, if you're in the US or Canada or America, you might want to board that flight and go check on your farm, because there are two things happening. If your managers are not honest, they are cheating you. That cannot happen. It cannot go from 50 to 40 to 45, or from 56 to 40. If it does that, there is a major issue going on at your farm. Either it's there's a certain sickness, or there is theft. But for sickness, again, the feeds will not, the birds, your flock will not eat. You will be able to see that from the feed consumption. If they are sick, they don't eat. And if they don't eat, they don't lay. But if they're eating and you get a percentage decline here, from 56 to maybe 45, something is definitely fishy right there. You have to visit your farm. That being said, we can see that our flock is consuming 121 grams per day, and it's consistent. Here it consumed 120. All this is calculated by the system. We don't need to record this. The system has the brains to think and understand what's going on based on just a little bit of information we provided. The reason behind is we don't want you to be doing a lot of work. The system has to work for you, and that's why we built it. In the notes section, you're going to see that we record whatever is going on. Like here, water reserve is at 75. The weather has been hot throughout the day. Structure D is taking vitamin. So basically, these notes help you understand. For example, let's say maybe we had a 57 here and maybe it came down to 40. Your manager can tell you here that the reason we have a decline is because there is some sickness that we've discovered, and we've already informed the vet. They are checking them out. We are managing the situation. So that way, as the owner, you're able to read and understand what's going on. But if they keep quiet and there is no information, no communication, then you definitely have to make that decision to call your manager in a meeting and tell them what you see doesn't add up to what it should be. And this is a very important tool for you. For those who are going to subscribe to our system, we shall definitely dive deeper into this and how all this is calculated, and give you more insight on how to manage and handle certain situations that might arise. I hope I explained this very well, the egg module. In my next modules, we shall touch base on the empty tray manager and reasons for that module. All right, see you in the next one.